Hey guys, now let's be honest. We've all had that sequel to a game that we love that ended up disappointing us. Whether it be a reboot or just the next game, I think that we've all had this experience. I sure know that I was confused by Sticker Star, for example, by the fact that it so blatantly ignored what made the past games in the series so successful. But can a sequel, regardless of quality, ruin something about the games before it? Let's first focus on what's good about sequels because I don't want to give off the wrong impression. I don't hate sequels. In most cases, the next game not only looks better, but plays better. Some of my favorite games are sequels actually. Mass Effect 2, Borderlands 2, Titanfall 2, Paper Mario 2, Battlefield 3, you get the idea. One thing all of these games have in common though, is that they all took what was good about the first one and fixed things that didn't make much sense. For less of a better term, the first game in a series nowadays is more of a beta test for the second game as developers learn what works and what doesn't work. Right now, we're even bringing back old game series like XCOM and Doom with a surprising amount of success. The best thing about sequels like the ones I've been talking about is that they don't subtract from the experiences of past games in any way and instead add on to them. This is the part when things start to take a turn for the worst, however. We live in a world of forced sequels. People are afraid to try anything new because of the fact that a new franchise has new characters that might not stick. This generation, we're seeing a lot of sequels to trilogies that have already ended with games like Gears of War 4. Some do it better than others, but then we have those that make the games before it less good, if only slightly. Let me explain. Halo 4 is a sequel that I don't think ruined anything from the past Halo games. Its story was beautiful with Master Chief and Cortana's relationship. The game ends with Cortana giving the Chief a heartfelt goodbye as she sacrifices herself for him. It was one of the best parts of the game. I was surprised that 343 was willing to take risks like this to advance the story, and I was interested to see where they'd take the franchise. They killed off one of the most well-known characters in video games, which takes some balls. The ending was ruined, however, when Halo 5 came out and showed that Cortana was still alive. This caused a lot of the magic from Halo 4's ending to disappear, and it lost all of its impact. Hell, sequels don't always even do this. Dead Space 3's DLC, Awakened, which takes place after Dead Space 3, completely ruins the ending of the game and even the whole point of it. The Last of Us is another example. It originally ended with uncertainty. We didn't know what was going to happen to Joel or Ellie. It felt fitting that our characters had an uncertain future in an uncertain world. It felt like their story was over, and not only that, but it was ambiguous as hell. Recently, and by recently I mean literally this month, The Last of Us 2 was announced, and I couldn't help but feel the magic of the first game's ending slip away. I'm not saying the new game will be bad, I'm sure it'll be great, but a part of what made The Last of Us special is now gone. I find with situations like this that it does feel a little bit like an unattended betrayal. Emotion is one of the easiest things to remember and how it made us feel, which is why ruining an ending can feel like betrayal as I can no longer feel what I had once felt. I mean, imagine if The Wizard of Oz or Inception got sequels. The mystery and wonder those endings gave us would be lost. And I can't even begin to tell you how much Jurassic Park 3 pissed me off when it ruined Dr. Grant's character arc from the first film. The first movie had him going from not wanting kids to wanting to start a family with his girlfriend Ellie. Then Jurassic Park 3 came along and showed us that the two of them were not only no longer together, but Grant had no kids of his own, which made his whole character arc in the first movie completely pointless. Though this does make his relationship with Billy even more curious. Breaking news! Just when I was about to finish this video, The Walking Dead: A New Frontier was released. I'm very impressed with it so far. I'm being able to play a Walking Dead game a way I haven't been able to since Season 1. But it did fuck up super hard in one category. Since the game just came out, I'm not gonna spoil what happens, but depending on your ending for Season 2, you may get mad at how lazy and insulting this thing is. Season 2 was already pretty pointless, but A New Frontier made that game almost completely pointless. I'm not disappointed in Telltale because it happened. I'm disappointed because of how little effort was put into it. There is a way to fix this problem with sequels, however. The biggest pitfall that sequels fall into is stretching out a story that's already finished. Mass Effect Andromeda is a game that has seemingly stepped over this first pitfall. Not only is it set 600 years in the future, but it's in an entirely new galaxy, Andromeda, if you haven't gotten that yet. It doesn't rely on Mass Effect 3 at all to support itself. It's a big risk on BioWare's part, as we're losing all of those characters we came to adore throughout the series. There will be no more calibrating from Garrus or watching Tali get hammered by alcohol. Another example I have for a sequel doing it right was The Walking Dead Season 2. Despite its flaws, it doesn't subtract anything from the first game. It doesn't make the ending to the first game any less meaningful. If anything, it actually gives it more of an impact. Clem remembering Lee, speaking to other characters about him, and even that dream sequence made me wish that he wasn't dead even more. Now, if only the same could be said for a New Frontier. Sequels should not be a bad thing. They should allow us to revisit worlds that we love exploring without hurting the past games. Like I said in the beginning, a lot of games don't hurt the previous ones, but it hurts so much when a sequel does hurt the ones before it. Retaining the art of a game is one of the most important things a game developer can do, and when you mess with that art, you mess with the overall picture that game was going for. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe if you liked this video. Keeping things positive, let's talk about how sequels can be good. What are your guys' favorite sequels? I'm interested to see what you guys say down in the comments.